So let's put our tinfoil hats on and talk about the economic reset, or the Great Reset, as they're calling it. Except, you could probably take your tinfoil hat off because all this is documented. You can find it all. You can watch videos on YouTube of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, who runs it. They've also got websites. It's all documented. So they would love nothing better than a great reset for the entire world. Now, why do they want that? Well, the corporate, economic, and world leaders would love nothing more to control the people of the world. And how do you do that? You usher in socialism. You tug on everybody's heartstring, tell them things aren't fair because some people have more than others. Capitalism is evil, especially unabashed American capitalism, where all the opportunity is there for you to be as rich and fruitful as you want. So they tug on everybody's heartstrings and say, well, we need to reset it and make sure it's everything's fair and equitable for everyone. So while the World Economic Forum would love for us to have an economic reset, Trump has got us poised for a great economic comeback because of COVID. Now, isn't it convenient that we have a virus come out of China and all these other plans they have just fit right in the puzzle, right? They're ready for the work from home and the Zoom and the no going to school in person. But what they really want to do is they want to shut down these great American businesses, the small businesses that drive the middle class, that drive American economy. They need to eliminate those in order to usher in this great economic reset. So, was COVID, an accident? Was it a naturally occurring situation that nobody could have foreseen? Or was it an intentional biological weapon used as a catalyst for this great reset for the world? I tend to think it was no accident. I think, it came from China, which tells you all you need to know, since that's the model they want to use for the rest of the world, the China model. We've talked about it before. The authoritarian communist regime was state-sponsored capitalism. So they use the ingenuity and the drive of the middle class, except the middle class doesn't reap the rewards. The elite 1% reap the rewards, and they take from the middle class and redistribute it to the lower classes. So, very convenient that COVID comes and they're just prepared and have all their documentation ready to go and all their plans laid out for this great reset. America is the economic engine of the world. That's why they can't get this reset implemented without the American people or the government of America getting on board with this. And if the Democrats get in and Biden is able to steal this election, the will of the American people will not be met. It doesn't matter if the American people are ready for this reset. They're going to force it down your throat. That's why it's imperative that A, this election does not get stolen and Donald Trump is our next president, and B, the American people push back against all this. Sometimes we can be tricked into thinking that, well, we're just kind of stodgy and we're resistant to change and all that. Well, there's a reason for that. The reason we're resistant to change is because our middle class driven American capitalist system works. And it's worked to create the greatest country this world has ever known. Now, we're a relatively young nation and we still have things to learn. However, in 200 some odd years, we've built the greatest thing this world's ever seen. So the globalists, the cabal, would love nothing more than America to crumble from within, so they can come swooping in with with the answer, and the UN can come save us from all this. So I highly recommend sourcing out and watching some of these conferences in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. It lays it all out there for you. This is not a conspiracy. They'll tell you everything they want to do. And Biden and Kamala Harris are the perfect pushovers to be in charge of this great nation for the globalists and UN to come in and have their way. So, just some things to think about as you see this term, the Great Reset, being thrown around. It's real, it's dangerous, and it could be just over the horizon if we allow the Democrats and the cabal, the globalists, to cheat us out of our vote for Donald Trump. The more and more evidence comes out, the more and more you should be convinced that this election was stolen, that these voting machines were manipulated so that Biden didn't even have to campaign, and he barely did, because they knew they were just going to cheat. So we can't let them get away with this. We got to keep our eye on Georgia and them trying to certify this recount, which is a total farce because they did not audit the ballots. All they did was keep counting the fraudulent ballots. Georgia and Pennsylvania, we're looking pretty good in Pennsylvania. I'm confident the Supreme Court will rule that the governor and the Secretary of State in Pennsylvania did not go by their own election laws and get their mail-in ballot laws changed through the legislature. So keep your eye on Pennsylvania, keep your eye on Georgia, keep your eye on the Twitter accounts of Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Lynn Wood. That's where the good information is going to come from. I trust them. I'm confident that the courts of this nation will do what is right. We'll see what happens.